Yeah, right. You rich.
Right, all right. We are live. Okay. Stadium Whispers, what's up, y'all?
I got
What's up,
echo.
baby?
It's your boy Shane. We got Yak, we got Ivan, we got Vaughn here tonight. Say what's up, everybody.
Yo,
Best version of myself, trying to be the best version of myself.
We're just gonna keep it brief, we're just gonna go as we all know what's going on with the whole, you know, excuse me, Damar Hamlin situation. We're gonna go ahead and, just say a few things, we wanna wish him the best. We want to help make sure he gets a speedy recovery and to brotherhood, in NFL. Some people said some disrespectful things. They got checked,
who
but
Skip?
it's all love here.
Who Skip?
Yeah, Skip.
I was gonna say, don't say some people. Just say it's Skip Bayless. And probably some other
Skip
people,
Bayless
obviously.
got checked.
But Skip Bayless for sure. Just call it like it is, because literally, even famous people was hitting up that tweet saying you are despicable. Is that what Kendrick Perkins called despicable? He said something. I forgot what he said, but yeah,
You want to lead us with the prayer, Ivan?
I think,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I was going to end this. I was going to end this off with
Maybe we should
that.
end it with that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll
let's
end
end
it
it
off
with
with
the
that.
prayer.
Yeah,
I just
but
want to say, yeah, it was crazy. I was shook last night. Y'all know me. I watch a quarter or so, and then I go to sleep early. I was up to like midnight last night. I was genuinely scared for him. I'm praying for him. I saw Ivan post something earlier, like just don't say you're praying for somebody and don't do it. Like you gotta legitimately pray for somebody. I pray for him.
hey, he took my fire.
Still praying for him, and it's scary. It's scary to see. I was shook. I ain't never seen nothing like that. Nobody's ever seen nothing like that. So yeah, I just pray for his family. I pray for the doctors that are with him. I pray that yeah, I just pray that he just gets better. I just pray for his family, just give them comfort. So yeah, it was a scary situation, but I just want to pray for everybody, him and his family. It was scary to see for sure, definitely for sure.
I mean, I guess for me,
And it
I,
doesn't surprise me that Skip said that. By the way, it doesn't
I mean, of
surprise me.
course not.
It's on brand for
Of course
Skip.
not. Of course not. He just, I don't even want to even talk about the Skip thing. I mean, obviously, it's a horrible timing. He did it. I mean, clearly he doesn't care. I'm not gonna be the type of person like, oh, he needs to be fired and all this other crap. But yeah, I mean, sometimes people just always tell you who your character is. That's all. That's what speaks loud enough for me. I ain't be like demanding someone's job and all that stuff. I ain't into all that. But I think Stephen A. I watched him earlier, and really Ryan Clark and all them like they're highlighting the fact that us casual people are fans of the game. You know, we all got our favorite teams and die hard for our teams and favorite players and stuff like that. And I mean, and we expect a lot out of these people that don't even know our names. We expect a lot out of them. They supposed to be perfect. They supposed to fight through injury. They supposed to do this, that, and the third. Even if you play fantasy, you're demanding a lot out of people that's on your fantasy team that don't know you and stuff like that. But you know, sometimes we can't lose sight that these are humans like us. They have emotions. You know, I mean, it's even said that we even have to break it down to even think like that. It should be common sense, but sometimes our fandom can get in the way of how these athletes actually, feel. Like sometimes we can say they soft and they this and that because of their injuries and things like that. But they do a lot. They do a lot. They put their bodies and souls on the line and stuff like that. I get that's part of their job, right? I'm not, this for that. But at the end of the day, we got to stop looking at them like they're, Superman or Super Saiyan and stuff like that, like they're actual, real people. And seeing Hamlin just collapse like that and literally pretty much die on the field, like you just like realize and cherish like how precious life is and how no matter what, like any one of us could randomly that happen to us. You know what I mean? So it's like, dang. And make sure, as Vaughn said, just make sure you actually pray, y'all. And I'm not saying it, and I'm saying it because, we're genuine when we say that, but sometimes we can forget. So make sure you actually pray. Just don't say it because that's the thing that, that should be said and things like that, but actually do it. You know what I'm saying? Just take the time, make it a quick one, because I know a lot of people, they're genuine, especially in a situation like this. Well, obviously, this is horrific that's happening to the player, to Hamlin. But make sure you're actually doing it, like not saying it because it's the right thing to say and things like that, but actually just saying it and actually doing it. And, that's important. That's not just because it is easy to forget. It is easy to forget sometimes. We work and stuff like that. So like, I'm gonna get around to what happened with we forget. So the best thing to do is when we're typing it out, actually say it right after you type it. Just to. Yeah. So
I pray then I say it. That's just me.
I mean, I thought it was good how Mike Tomlin shared his story. You know, how he said he's known him since he was 12, and he's glad of not only like the person that he's on the field, but off the field as well for what he's done. It was good to see him grow as a person as well. So if people don't know by now, like he's now 50%. He was gone from 100% to 50% now. He's on a ventilator, so before he wasn't breathing on his own completely, so he was
yeah.
100%, but now he's 50% now. They said that he might have lung damage possibly, but just keep him in our prayers. I just thought last night was crazy. Like I've watched football for almost 30 years, and I played football 20 years ago, and it was just a routine tackle. And when he got up, it's just routine tackle. He got up and he just collapsed, and then I just like start messaging people. I'm like, hey, did you see him, collapse? Like, did you like what's going on? So at first, maybe I thought it was like a back injury, or some type of concussion. And then minutes went by, and then like you just hear Joe Buck and you hear Troitman say, they're doing CPR, and that's when it gets serious. You start seeing, Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. You see Tre'Davious White, concerned and crying with Mitch Morse. And then like you start seeing the updates on Twitter about, having a defibrillator and CPR. And you just knew immediately, like, if you have that going on, he was in cardiac arrest. Like, it's not, I've never seen anything like that. Never. It was just, it was crazy. And, he's a kid who's, I don't want to say he's a kid, but he's a young man, second year in the league. He's replacing an all-pro safety in Micah Hyde. He's second on the team in tackles this year, so he had the claw, and scrap to get his spot on the team. As a 6th-round pick, nothing's guaranteed for you, and he has opportunity, and he's been balling this year, and he's only 24 years old. I just hope that the young man, nothing, there's nothing seriously wrong with him. He can actually be a functioning member of our society in the future because he's got a long life ahead of him.
Yeah. It's sad, y'all, but I mean, just all we can do is continue to pray for him. It's good that he's 50% on the ventilator now, as Shane just said. So that means there's progress. He's not fully dependent on it as he was. So that's a good thing. I mean, I guess this is just a reminder, to appreciate life. It sucks that these things happen, but I think the blessing in it is the fact that it's just a constant reminder to appreciate the life that we have and the health that we have and things like that, because you never know, we could be in a situation like that, randomly like that, because you said it's a routine tackle. I mean, it wasn't that much collision. It was something that we see that tackle 50 million times. We played football outside and tackled someone like that many times. Like, we played sports and got hit in the chest, and nothing like that has happened. And just like that, it can. And thank God that we do. It's 2022 where there's paramedics already there. They got an AED there already there. They're equipped. Because imagine this was years ago. He'd been gone. 20 years ago, he'd probably be gone. Probably gone, bro. But the fact that we do have the staff, the equipment, things like that now in today's age, that they saved his life. So just appreciate life, man. Appreciate who's in your life, and appreciate each and every day we waking up, because you never know. So
yeah, we got to shout out the Cincinnati Bengals training staff and the Buffalo Bills training staff.
for sure, yeah.
They're saying like before, like they practice this like every day, like in during training camp they have a dummy. They practice this every day in camp. Also, they're saying like 90 minutes before pregame, both training staffs, they go over this situation. How teams, they're warming up and stuff. Both training staffs, they meet together. They go over the preparations for, any traumatic situation like this. And they did everything to a T, and they saved this young man's life.
Facts. I mean, a shout out also to McDermott and Coach Taylor too for deciding to do, like, you know what, nah, This is mortifying. We're gonna stop the game because I think they could have continued to play the game if they wanted to. I think because I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the NFL protocol. I mean, for something like this, I don't know if there's even a protocol to really follow. And I guess the NFL is probably letting them make the decision. I'm not 100% sure how that went, but the fact that even Taylor, Coach Taylor, like I mean, because obviously that's McDermott's player, but even he was like, nah, like it's bigger than football. Like this guy literally, you know what I mean? Like they were, it was bigger than the game at that point. So respect for them for even choosing to play the game because they could have just been like, nah, forget it. I don't care. Get back out there, play. Josh Allen, I don't care if you're crying. Go ahead, get out there. You know what I mean? So the fact that they knew what was at hand, that shows how much the brotherhood of the NFL really is.
Yeah, it was definitely up to the players and stuff. At first they were like, they gave them 5 minutes to warm up. Then the players were initially like, nah, we're gonna go back to the locker room. We're not doing this because if it was up to the NFL initially, they would played that damn game. But yeah, big ups to the Bengals for agreeing not to play the game and standing with the Bills because if you're a human, you have a pulse. You wouldn't want to play that game last night.
Nah,
regardless of what side you were on.
Nah.
Yeah,
and T. Higgins was taking it difficult too,
Yeah.
because he was involved in the hit, because I saw his tweet, and one of the Bills players like, "Yo, we praying for you too, bro. Like this has nothing, because even I'm sure even if you were involved in the exact situation that happened to him, I can only imagine what's going through T. Higgins' mind too, thinking like, dang, bro, like if only I didn't reach down or my head didn't hit his shoulder and stuff like, even though he had nothing to do with it, but this is a crazy situation.
Yeah, and you can't forget, him and Dane Jackson on the Bill. People don't know who Dane Jackson is. He's pretty much evolved this year. He's replaced Tre'Davious White when he was out in his ACL on the lineup. But but Dane Jackson and Hamlin have been, they were childhood friends. Both went to Pitt, and they both, on the Buffalo Bills. Dane ended up, having an injury earlier this year, and after that happened, the video that came out recently, shared to me where, excuse me, Hamlin basically said that they did a Wednesday meeting with the cornerbacks. They held hands together, and he squeezed Dane's hand tight. Because he said, "You never know, like when your last second could be and stuff." Like he was just basically, saying you just got to appreciate, life, and then have this happen to last night. I just pray for Dane Jackson as well. As his childhood friend and teammate is going through this.
Shoot. Bills Mafia probably definitely got the best fans.
Yeah.
So I have to say that. They really do have the best fan base, y'all. I can't even lie. They going for supporting Hamlin, burning up his foundation. He only wanted 2,500. He's up to probably 4 or 5 million by now. They shoveling their players out of 6 feet of snow. Like they different. They is different. Like they is definitely different. Like that's a fan base, I guess, that actually they care. Because I don't know how many would do that. I mean, I'm not saying no other team probably would do that for the situation. I'm pretty sure. But, they just show it time and time again. They stepping up for their teammates, Especially if you shovel 6 feet of snow. I don't care. You definitely dedicated. I don't care. Because I'm not doing that. I can tell you right now. I'm not. I love Washington. I'm not pulling up at Terry's house. Just shovel them out.
No, hell no.
Like, it's not happening. I'm not doing.
You know, like scary enough.
And not to mention, they probably live stupid far too. Like I'm not, no, I'm scaring my boy. No, that's my dog. But I'm not no 6 feet. Heck no, I don't even want to shove my own car out 6 feet. So, but I mean, we at the 14-minute mark.
It's just a tough situation, like it's just hard to see. Like any sport, I just feel like at any sport that situation could have happened. It's just not football. Any sport, anybody could really play any sport at any time, and that thing could happen.
Yeah. Steve,
like, you see this injury, like
basketball.
That's just what people will try blaming on like the violence of football or whatever. But
yeah. I see some people wild on Facebook.
One of my mom's best friends in life literally died. He passed out playing basketball. So what I mean, like,
yeah. Abolish football. I'm like, so you gonna abolish boxing? You gonna abolish fight UFC? You gonna abolish all these other? Because football is not even the most violent sport.
It's more about his life right now. You know what I mean? Like, what he had going on inside of his body versus like what brought that to head. You know what I mean? Because that's just not something that acts on its own. You know what I mean? Like that's something that was probably already there.
Yeah.
I mean, and you only see this injury typically in like, with like baseball, like when somebody gets hit, like with a baseball, going like, over 100 miles per hour back at them and hitting them like in the chest. Like it's like rare. This is like
That's
a
what I'm
freak.
saying. Like
This is not an everyday.
like
This ain't no every year. This ain't like no ACL type of thing where you expected that every
Right.
year. This ain't this ain't common because Stephen A. mentioned there was a college basketball player that this kind of happened to him. It happened to him twice. The first time it happened, they were able to save him, and then it happened again because I guess they said he'd go out and play again. This is back in the '90s, so I guess technology.
Oh, Hank Gathers.
Yeah, him. Yeah. And it was back in the '90s, so they probably didn't have as much information on it they do now. So they said, yeah, you can go back out there and play. And guess what? It happened again, and that was it. He passed away from it. So clearly, he had like some type of heart. He's something heartbeat. What's it called? Starts with an E. Irregular heartbeat. Something.
Irregular
heartbeat.
Yeah, irregular heartbeat. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't think of it. Yeah, irregular heartbeat.
Or arrhythmic.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe there's something they'll find that they'll get on top of, so that way Hamlin won't have to worry about this again. I'm gonna speak in faith to know that he's gonna pull through this. So when he does pull through this, I hope they find whatever happened, like, so that way he's able to have a normal life at the end of this. I ain't thinking about him playing football again, nothing like that. That's not important. He's 24 years old. They got plenty of life left, like Shane said. So hopefully this is something that they'll be able to find, so that way it doesn't get worse.
Yeah.
Right. Close us out on the prayer now.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right.
Oh, Lord, just thank you for today. Just thank you for us that's on here and giving us the platform and really giving us air in our lungs each and every day, and just for having us to come together just to talk about sports. And, we like to debate and get on each other's nerves and troll each other about our teams and stuff like that, Lord. But for something like this, like especially what's going on with Hamlin, I can only imagine how his family's feeling, his mom is feeling, his teammates are feeling right now dealing with him, Lord. So I just pray that you keep everybody strong during this time. I just pray that you be with their family right now, Lord. I just pray that you be with the doctors, be with them, and do everything they can to make sure they're continue to help him be able to breathe on his own, and that they find whatever it is that is even caused this in the first place, Lord. And that we all learn from this situation, learn that how precious life actually is, that any one of us possibly could have been in this situation, even though this ain't common, but you never know when stuff like this happens, Lord. So I just pray that we use this moment to see that because the news, they always post bad things all the time, and this is going like this, and this is bad, and Republican versus Democrat, and all this other stuff you see on the news all the time. But seeing the players come together, seeing the positive tweets, seeing how people gave to Hamlin's, charity, how supportive everybody has been, that's just a prime example that there are plenty of good people in this world that actually cares about life, when sometimes it doesn't feel like life is valued as much as it should, Lord. So I just pray that you keep us strong, that you rest Hamlin's body, that you prepare Hamlin's body, and that he recovers back from this, Lord, and that he's able to just be a normal person in society again, Lord. And I pray that if there's anything deeper issue that's wrong with him, Lord, that they find it and that they help fix it, so that way this won't happen again. And Lord, we just want to say just thank you. We love you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 All right, y'all. We out. Catch y'all next week.
Peace.
Stay safe.
Two.